Hey guys, I want to do a short video on some of the data loader tools that are available for Salesforce. The first one that I want to do is Informatica. They have a number of offerings. They have their CRM solution, which is basically their data loader, and it's a free product according to Carlos Clavel. He's a sales manager, and he says this is a more or less their free offering to get you in the door and hopefully upgrade you to some of their other services. Their data replication service allows you just to dump data to a SQL Server database, or actually any kind of database, more or less. They have a data quality for cleansing, and then they have a synchronization service, which allows you to keep, Salesforce and MySQL or Salesforce and Oracle in sync. So I just want to go through a quick demo on how we actually do that. So right now I'm actually logged into the Informatica admin panel, and the first thing is the agents. Now the agent is actually what does all the heavy lifting for you, and it only runs on Linux or on Windows. You essentially download that to a server, and I've got this run on a machine here in my office, but you can put it on any server that you have on the web that you have access to. So you can run that from multiple machines at multiple times and have multiple imports run at the same time. You also can set up multiple connections, and I have a couple set up to some DE orgs. Here's one up to SQL Server here in my office, and I have a sandbox that I have set up here also. They've got a number of things you can connect to. You can connect to Salesforce or Oracle, SQL Server, Google Spreadsheets, Microsoft Access, and even CSV files. So that works pretty well. I typically use SQL Server or MySQL. And now we're going to go ahead and actually run a data loader service. So click on the data loader task, and I'm going to define a new task, and I'm going to say this is going to be import contacts, and we're going to do an insert here. You can do an insert, an update, upsert, or delete. And I'm going to go to next here, and I'm going to choose, it's coming from my SQL Server, and it's going to give me a preview of the records that I have in the table once I choose it. So I have 2 records in here. The next screen is actually the target that I'm actually moving the data to, and I'm going to put it into this DE org right here. It's going to give me also a list of all the objects. If I can find, let's see, contacts, contact. It's going to give me a preview again. And if you want to see all the records that are in this object, you can hit preview all columns, and it'll download it as a spreadsheet for you. They do have some data filters where you can limit the number of rows to be processed, or you can create filters and say I want to make sure I only want to import ones where email equals or is like something. You can set up those. That's kind of handy. They also have the field mapping. The field mapping actually is what I really like about this. It auto detects your fields for you. Plus I'm also going to drag and say I want to add this to the description also. And then you can do things like you can also set up, let's see, you can set up some expressions also on here. If I can click it right. There we go. So you can do different expressions that you want. You can do literals and all kinds of crazy things on here for importing your data. And then the next one is scheduling. You can actually create a schedule to have this run at any point in time. I use this with a nonprofit. I schedule their data loads at multiple times a night. I kind of use a poor man replication service where I schedule a bunch of them to run from SQL to Salesforce, and then about an hour later I schedule them to run from Salesforce back to SQL. So it's not really a replication service, but it's basically the same kind of functionality. So you can save this, but I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. And there is our task, and I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Hit run, and that's going to run it in the background with the agent. Okay, now when that finishes, we're going to see in the list of the activity log, you can see that there were 2 successes and 0 errors. And now if I go into Salesforce here, so my developer org, I can search for the contact I just entered. And there's Ed Lover, and we've got the description with the email and all their information. So that's the data loader for Informatica.